All right, okay, so in less than 2 years' time, more than 15 schools in this country have experienced gun violence, and that's alarming. And I don't want to give any more attention to this because it only builds the hype. I'll just tell you that the tragedies, the schools in the towns like Newtown, Seattle, Nevada, New Mexico, they are some of the more recent school shootings. And again, we don't want to draw any more attention to this because of what that sort of does in this case. But we're going to start talking, open up some dialogue about this, what causes this, the possible solutions to guns in our schools. To help open this conversation up, where we've asked Dr. Stephanie Marcy, a trauma psychologist from Children's Hospital Los Angeles, to join us, along with Daniel Nitzel, a middle school teacher from Iowa, and Dr. Stephen Walker, a concerned father from Oklahoma. Welcome to everybody, and Mary Lynn, welcome, and you're sitting in on this, so chime in, please, if you have anything that you want to offer up on this. We've asked you guys to come on the show to talk with us about how, you know, our schools can be more safe. We want to have our schools that the children go to and what they do in those schools a more protected environment. The threshold for you, Doctor, we'll talk with both of you, but I want to ask you, the threshold for you was when?
Well, it was the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, and I think it just, as a parent, began to build more and more of just a frustration.
Right.
Because one of the other great problems that we have now, I think, in our society is that it's either my way or the highway when we come to an issue. We become really polarized, and so in the end, what it seems like happens is nothing gets done.
Well,
and that's kind of where we were at, or where I was at, and I wanted to try to think out of the box, try to get above that, and develop something that, you know, both sides would agree on, that this is something our kids can have immediately.
Well, this is something that you guys created that could save a lot of children's lives, teachers' lives, and protect our schools. When we come back, we will show you what these inventions are and explore them and see a little bit more about them. Don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Dr. Stephanie Marcy is here. We're joined with also by Daniel Nitzel and Dr. Stephen Walker. We're going to continue our discussion about how we can make our schools safe for, or more safe for our children. Two inventions that these gentlemen created. I want to start with you, Dr. Walker, a little bit about what it is. What is your invention called? Well,
we call it the Bodyguard blanket, and really, to the doctor's point, we named it a blanket because we didn't want this to be a intimidating thing for a 6 or a 5-year-old. It's a garment that would actually be stored in the classroom, and whether it's a lockdown procedure, tornado drill, fire drill, it's something that the child could easily put on themselves. And we purposely made it a very simple design. We put backpack straps on it. Again, most children are familiar with a backpack. And
well, let's take we have a video of this.
Great.
Can we take
sure.
a look? Let's take a peek.
Bodyguard blanket was specifically developed to help protect our children from events that come unexpectedly and with the potential for catastrophic outcomes. Bodyguard blankets are made with the same bullet-resistant materials that shield our soldiers in battle, providing maximum tested protection. Bodyguard's uncomplicated design, protective technology, and lightweight make it the best defense for children of all ages and classroom teachers. Bodyguard blanket can safeguard your loved ones in moments when time is critical. Every student and teacher in every school should have the protection from tornadoes and school incursions that Bodyguard blankets provide.
Well.
Now, you're talking mainly about the bullets penetrating, it won't penetrate the blanket.
Right, there's a material in the blanket. It's a bullet-resistant material, and it's not going to be able to stop every bullet.
Okay, that's good.
But when we were developing this over a year, and we're doing our research, we began to look at all the school shootings since 1990 to today, and we began to realize that about 90% of the weapons used could have been stopped with the material we currently have in there. It's called a National Institute of Justice Level 3A body armor, and there's different levels of body armor. If we tried to make an armor that could stop every bullet, it would be so heavy that a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old just simply wouldn't be able to put it on. A lot of adults might not be able to put it on.
We also have a video of the ballistic tests on this blanket, so let's take a look at that right now.
This is a Federal 115 grain full metal jacket, 9mm round. We're going to do our first shot.
Here you can see the deformation into the clay. There was not a penetration. This is just a bending that happens at the back of the armor. And we can measure that depth just using a simple caliper to measure that depth. What we're looking for is the depth to be less than 44 millimeters. These first two here are 17 and 19 millimeters. All the energy is absorbed on the interior of the plate. The penetrator is stopped, whatever round it is, 9 millimeter, 357, is stopped within the armor. It mushrooms out, and that mushroom helps us absorb it before it can penetrate through the plate, or the blanket in this case, then protects the body from penetration and severe organ damage.
That is remarkable. That is remarkable. But that stops the bullet, if heaven forbid it ever would happen. But if we can keep them out of the rooms that our children are in, that would even be a better line of defense. That's where I'm going to come to you, Daniel, on this, was your invention. We had a discussion earlier when we first met today, and you were talking a little bit about the scenarios that have happened with these shooters as they come into the rooms.
It used to be we would turn the lights off, go under the table, and essentially pray that he didn't come in and attack us.
What are we looking at here?
You're looking here at the video. Edwin has slid on the sleeve here, and essentially the sleeve slides over the door closer, which is something that you see on many classroom doors.
This is what you invented, is this sleeve to go over the hinge.
Correct.
I just think it's so sad that it's come to this. And I think for parents, we can't change the world all at once, but I think taking on some small changes in your community so that you don't feel so helpless. And having things like this where you at least feel you're not sending your child out to school to be shot. It used to be such a safe place, and sadly schools are not anymore.
You guys are teaming up now, huh?
Well, I was telling Daniel that our company, we've only been out about a month public, but our company's been really impressed with this, and we've had school districts and organizations, daycare centers that are very interested in our product, and we feel so good about this that we want to donate a sleeve to every classroom that needs it with our blankets. So if someone should happen to buy our blankets, we want to be a part of this, because in the end it's about giving them as much protection as quickly as possible. Putting on that sleeve allows our kids then to put on the blankets and gives them more time. So it's just a win-win, and I really admire the fact that we have a teacher that's trying to do something as well. I mean, it's comforting as a parent that we've got teachers like him.
Good stuff. And there's nothing more deserving of all of this attention and our energy and effort and money, whatever it is, than our children in our schools. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Are we going to show how they?
Oh yeah, we have the demo. Let me show you just real quick, because we talked about this. This is an adult size.
That is actually, it comes in 3 sizes. That's a large for people about 6 foot or taller.
Right. And you said it's easy for kids to put. It's like a backpack.
It is. It's just like a backpack, and we wanted it to be simple. And they put it on. There's a strap that goes around the waist that helps secure it, and then there's handles on the very top. You'll have to kind of bend down, and it'll come. Kind of just bend down a little bit. There you go. And you've got those. And there's a position, that most kids would take. There's a tornado drill position. There's a lockdown position. You can see those things on our website.
But they would be down in a
and they would form in a line, and then you would just see a shield basically of orange. And so that's how you put it on.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, so much information to pass along to you. We got to keep this conversation going, and great work, great work. Go to our website if you'd like to get more information. You can go to chla.org. Bodyguardblanket.com is another resource. FightingChanceSolutions.com, and again, as I said, our home and family site, homeandfamily.com.